So save your worries, slide your loving. I can feel that good things coming. Finally believe that it's gonna be a bright one here. There's nothing wrong on the horizon, but I'm always in my own head. Yeah, I was getting tired of trying, forgetting every word that I said in all those old conversations that turned into a melody. I'll be waiting for autumn days ahead of me. Those words that put me under are never coming back again. I like my beat with some soul, I like my girl with some heart. I only love with my whole, I don't know how to give part. I don't know how we gon' finish, but I love how we done start. So let's take a night to just be who we are. So I ain't got the time or the energy, unless it's towards a goal or a memory. And to be doing things that I don't really love. Only light I had was coming from the sun, but now I'm shining on a cloudy day. And it don't matter what you say, cause even if the sky is falling, I'ma do it anyway. So save your worries, slide your loving. I can feel that good things coming. Finally believe that it's gonna be a bright one here.
Every day I gotta light one, yeah. Never not dated a tight one, yeah. No, I keep it 100 every time I come in trouble. No, we coming with the right ones, yeah. 35 can't play, get a bag on ya. Never with the games, put a tag on ya. I ain't getting lit cause my future too bright. Joey hit me up, I said that's just on site. No, it's too nice. No ops, no lights, new heights that we never hit before, and I'm feeling too white. Gotta roll like a road on. Major difference is the platinum and the gold songs. Whoa, oh, you already know. I can make your life a push star, press go. Say we're off to a good start, let's smoke. Blew the brains off the coupe, baby, it's flow. Yeah.
Shining on a cloudy day, and it don't matter what you say, cause even if the sky is falling, I'ma do it anyway. So save your worries, slide your loving. I can feel that good things coming. Finally believe that it's gonna be a bright one here.
Hey, let's move to that. Let's do that. Let's try to go off.
pray to God we keep you in the plan. You ain't the man to tell you when to talk, but I've been on a mission since the day we brought up. Every time we dropping it, we know they thought of ways to bring me down, but when they hear, don't hear a sound. Guess that's the way you gotta act when up and realize been around. Used to be on my own now. I got a team of my own now. I don't know where to go now, but I know where I've been. So what you tryna do? I see you coming for the squad, and boy, you bound to lose. Just realize that while you coming for him, that there's enough for all of us and everybody could win. But you keep spending all the energy on things that don't apply to you. I keep doing things that you would more than probably die to do. I keep doing things that teachers told you not to try in school, and you keep saying that it's cool, well someone must have lied to you. Cause about time that we feel this moment, about time maybe you deserve it. We just really tryna flex on them, keep the checks coming, let them know we next up. About time that we feel this moment, about time maybe you deserve it. But the work in it, everything will work out. This a life that we always talk about. I'm hoping that you understand. You ain't the man to tell you when to man. Just pray to God we keep you in the plans. You ain't the man to tell you when it. What they want from me, I can see it in their eyes. Ain't no commodity, but all they see is dollar sign. Buying stock in me, watch that money multiply. No one's stopping me from making all this come alive. You gotta be around it, I'm out here writing it while you just read about it. Used to call me a show up, but now they call me to show up. Hoping we let them touch along and be a part of the glow up. So hold up, I see you stunting, so what? You never get your dough up until you in demand, you just a no one. And while they stay in they lane, they always saying you've changed, but I ain't working this hard just to be staying the same. Still I got friends who've been around since the days in the basement. I got friends who settled down, know they're more like an acquaintance. I got friends in the league, man, I got friends who've been up, man, I got friends who gon' be famous. I'm just trying to keep up, that's why I'm singing. About time that we feel this moment, about time baby you deserve it. We just really tryna flex on them, keep the checks coming, let them know we next up. About time that we feel this moment, about time baby you deserve it. Put the work in it, everything will work out. This a life that we always talk about. About time that we feel this moment, about time baby you deserve it. We just really tryna flex on them, keep the checks coming, let them know we next up. Hoping that you understand. You ain't the man to tell you when to man. Just pray to God we keep you in the plan. You ain't the man to tell you when it.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on whatever part of the world you're in. This is Gorgo 2005, welcoming everybody to the channel. All 130 of you that I see out there at the moment, you're being awfully silent. Not that I expect everybody to be in here chattering away before the stream actually starts, but I'm glad to see, oh wow, we're up to over 140, pushing 150 folks in here now. So thank you everybody for coming in to spend some time with me today. It's been a great stream. We'll catch you later. Hey, Luke1111, good to hear from you. My buddy in the UK, great to see you in here. Oh boy, what have we got going on today? I had one busy as Hades morning, and I didn't get to do my usual morning Discord check-in post until after I got home and had lunch down the gullet. So I was a little late getting my Discord post in. I got my Silver Team post in, but not so much for the yeah. Hi there, Roman a day Twitch doing the chatter. Thank you. But anyway, good to see everybody in here. Like I was saying, the bronze and silver teams got reported on, but not the diamond team. and we're going to be taking a look at them in a little bit. They were the only ones to make playoffs, and we'll check in with them in just a little bit. But we're not opening any packs today. We're just going to go around and do. I guess I can maybe do a little bit of a spoiler and tell you that we're looking right now at postseason post-mortems because the playoff push is over on my diamond team. So anyway, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump in and see what be cooking with these guys. And let me get over to the game screen because I'm on the team I want to be on. And our microphone is working fine right now. I think that the audio should be good. I did a pre-stream mic check and it sounded great. So I'm really pleased with the latest adjustments that I've made. They've been pretty clean. I just need to make sure that my background sounds are ready to go, and I believe that they are for the ad break. And also, even though we're not doing a pack transition, I gave that a test today, and it's working pretty well too. So anyway, why don't we hang on just a moment here? And there is something amiss already. Yep, there is definitely something amiss. Bear with me a moment, because I need to bring up something that I forgot to bring up. Okay. Little system sound there. So there we go. Okay, we got it up and going. I had a piece of software that I was running as an administrator that spontaneously decided to take itself down. So that would be no fun for the home team. Now let me double check on something and we can get into yonder game. Okay, I think that's ready to go. Okay, let's do a little bit of looking because I've already got my 3 tournament spots all filled up. And we can maybe take a look at the longest running 1 or 2 here once we're done taking a look at the team. But we got a little bit of sad news on the playoff front here with my Flames. So we'll get in there and see what be cooking with them. How is everybody today? Can tell you, we're doing fine on this end. It was just a very, very busy morning. I had to be at a rehearsal venue at 9:15 this morning, and that barely gave me enough time to get breakfast down the hatch and do some, getting dressed, getting cleaned up, and that sort of thing, because we had to be at the rehearsal venue at 9:15 Eastern time, so that didn't give me very much time. Okay, and here we see the sad tale. In the wild card round, I drew the Michigan Wolves that were the number 3 seed in the conference. I was the number 3 wild card, so I drew the number 3 conference winning seed Michigan Wolves. Now, I had a good season series against them. Let me show you what I mean. If I go to the reports and logs, then select league report, and I want to look at team versus team. If I look at my Finneytown Flames versus the Michigan Wolves right there, I had as good a record against them during the regular season as any other team that I faced. With the possible exception, okay, the Grateful Dead, I went 3-1 against. That was a 75% win rate. And some of these other outfits, I mean, like 3 of my division mates, even though I came in second in the division, I had losing records against 3 of them, including the division-winning Empire State Hivemind. We'll take a look at the playoff tree here in just a little bit and see how the playoffs are progressing now that I am out of it. But anyway, the Michigan Wolves got to move on to the division series. I don't know exactly who they played, but we can take a look at that very, very shortly. Because here I had a 5-2 record against them, but that made no difference. I think everybody in here knows. Hey, Cavicom, thank you so much for the raid, buddy. We do appreciate it. Thank you. And I didn't get a notification from Stream Elements that I was getting a raid. Ha! Now I'm getting it after I see it in another spot. So Stream Elements is a little bit behind the time here, but Cavicom, love to see you in here, and thank you so much. Okay, okay, Radman saying he pulled the Peak Ruth card. Oh baby, what a draw! What a draw! Congrats there, Radman. You had one heck of a nice little piece of work on that draw. And you weren't the only one that I saw that got that yesterday. Somebody, because I really didn't get clearance to mention a name, and I won't mention it here, but another person that I was having a private conversation with in Discord told me that they also got the Peak Babe Ruth card, and that was sometime, I think it was yesterday. So congrats to all the people who have gotten that nice card. I haven't gotten it yet. I was daggone lucky to have pulled the Lou Gehrig card that I got. Babe Ruth would complete the set now, mind you, but I'm pretty pleased with that Gehrig card. It was a pretty doggone nice card. Okay, so Cavicom, thank you so much for your raid. We do appreciate it, and hoping that you had a great stream today. Excuse me, lunch is coming back to bite me a little bit. That keto pizza recipe that I told you I was giving a try yesterday came out nice. The only crazy thing about it is it calls for psyllium husk powder, which is basically the base ingredient of Metamucil, but without any of the flavoring or extra ingredients. All it is just the plain psyllium husk powder, which is the base ingredient of Metamucil and other like products. But anyway, when you use that in baking or otherwise in some sort of cooking, heating tends to have a funny thing that it brings out in the psyllium husk powder. It has a bit of a bluish tinge, okay? So I had kind of bluish, purplish, brownish pizza crust that tasted great, I might add. It came out looking, tasting really, really nice. And it was even better today for lunch with the leftovers than it was for supper last night, fresh out of the oven. But it was really funny eating a pizza with a bluish, purplish, brownish crust. So if I got past my eyeballs and got it to my taste buds, everything was satisfied. But it's a recipe we're going to see again. We're going to use it again, and see if we can make it work even better. Because what I did was I made the crust out of those 3 or 4 ingredients. It was psyllium husk powder, some almond flour, a little bit of baking powder, a little bit of salt, a tiny little bit of salt, and 2/3 of a cup of boiling water. And I just put all that stuff together and made a nice little dough ball and put it down on a piece of parchment paper on my baking sheet, and had used my wet hands. I had to dampen my hands to keep from sticking to the dough, to press the dough out into a pizza round shape, so to speak. And once I got it pressed out into that round shape on top of the parchment paper, on top of the baking sheet, then I started applying toppings. I laid down some sauce first, and then I laid down a 1/2 pound of Italian sausage that had been pre-cooked. I also laid down a layer of mushrooms that were leftover sautéed stuff from the mushroom sauce that went over my chicken dish the other night. And I intend to put that chicken dish recipe in my Discord food channel. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet because I had to copy it, not straight from the internet, but I had to copy it to a Word document because I could not print it from its destination site. And there's my first drop coming in to come home to Daddy here. So we're glad to see that. But anyway, getting back to the recipe, what I had was that I laid down the sauce, laid down the sausage, laid down the mushrooms, and then I put a layer of mozzarella cheese on top of that, and then some turkey pepperoni on the top of the mozzarella, and then I sprinkled some grated Parmesan cheese on top of that and baked it at 4 1/4 for like something like 22 minutes. And it came out pretty nice. The pizza crust was not browned on the bottom, but it was still plenty well done. It was cooked through. I didn't have to worry about anything. And you know what that sound means is that we are ready for our first ad break of the day. So this is a point where I'll have to double check and make sure that I've got background sounds working. I had them working before the stream, but that piece of software went down on me. So let's see what happens when I attempt to do an ad break. Hopefully it'll work. And it's looking good so far. Here we go. I'm having trouble, guys. There we go. I got it stopped. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to where we were. That made you feel hungry? Haha, there, Rad Man. Yeah, it was pretty decent pizza, and it tasted even better with lunch leftovers than it did with supper. And last night for supper, it really wasn't too bad. Even though, like I said, it looked a little less than appetizing, it actually tasted pretty doggone good. So anyway, getting back to the game, I've already explained what happened to me in the playoffs. I have a sim coming in. We will take a look at the tournament tree and see how the rest of the league is faring in their playoffs once this sim comes in. So we will wait patiently for that. And there it is in. Let's take a look at the postseason coverage here in Diamond 350. We are in the lowest numerical that is the lowest numbered league in the entire game at 350, and the I think the one at the top should be what, 373, or I think there are 24. I think there are 24 diamond leagues, which would mean 373 would be at the very, very top. But that's another story. Well, anyway, if I take a look back here in the wild card series and look at the playoff tree, okay. Right here in my conference, the Michigan Wolves swept me. The Seattle Earthquakes, former Diamond champs, took out the Centralia Mine Fires, who had the number 2, I believe, wild card slot. I was in number 3, and the Seattle Earthquakes, I'm thinking, were in the 2nd wild card. I could be. I'm sorry. No, they were in the first place wild card. Centralia was 2nd place. I was 3rd place, and I got to play the number 3 seed of the division winners, and that's how I got knocked out in the wild card round. So Seattle moved on. They get to play the number 2 or number 1 seed California Halos, and they are also prior Diamond champs, and they won that one 3-1. So they get to move on to the conference final series. And there's my division winning Empire State Hive Mind, took out the Wolves that took me out. So they are in the conference final playing against the Halos, and that series is tied 1 game apiece. Over here on this side, we had the Frank Stallones up against the previous Diamond champs Usual Suspects for that wild card. And it looked like the wild cards, all 4 wild card series were sweeps, 2-0 sweeps. The Tuscaloosa Tacos took out the Melmont Leeches. The Usual Suspects took out the Frank Stallones. Then, here we have a perfect team former champion in the Watertown Herons that swept the Usual Suspects in their division series to move on to the conference final. The Tuscaloosa Tacos, winner of their wild card, got to take on the Sylvania Humidity, who are owned by Quiz Kid, that has all of those Northwest Ohio city team names that we went over in yesterday's stream. But anyway, he and a perfect league champion Watertown Herons are tied 1-1 in their conference final. And like we have a couple of 1-1 series going on so far, and it's looking like a good, exciting finish to see who will move on to the World Series, and whoever wins the World Series, of course, wins promotion to Perfect League. Right now, I would say the hands-down choice for winning the entire league would be Watertown, for obvious reasons, because they have won a Perfect League trophy. So anyway, that's what the league is looking like. And if we get out of here, we can take a look at some of my team's performances. Looking at the pitching staff first. Jerry Royce at the top of the rotation redeemed himself. Last season, his control just absolutely stunk, and he was relegated to the bullpen. He had an ERA at one point last season of 17 plus. He has gotten himself back in the saddle again, 17-6 record with a rotation leading 3.22 ERA. So he acquitted himself much, much better this season. Kevin Brown didn't have a half bad season either at 3.66, the second best in the rotation. And you can see I've still got my playoff pitching staff set up as a 4-man rotation. I need to go back to a 5-man. And we're going to pull my number 5 starter and put him back over here in his spot. And that was my former ace of the rotation, Carl Hubble, who had a really, really poor season at 9-12 with a 4.89 ERA. Holy crap. What a bad season for him, because he usually does much better. I don't have to make any changes right now to my bullpen. I've got Eck sitting in the stopper slot with the lowest ERA of my 3 nasty boys here at the end of my bullpen. And the second best ERA belongs to Trevor Hoffman, so he's in the later setup role. And the earlier setup role with the highest ERA belongs to Tugger McGraw, Tim McGraw's daddy. Okay, now I've got Christy Mathewson acquitting himself in the very, very few appearances that he made after I acquired that card. He pitched for 1.2 innings, a strikeout rate of 21.6 per 9 innings. Holy crap! What a he has the strikeouts working for him, but he didn't get to pitch very much to prove it. We're going to leave him in middle relief for now, for going into season number 23 in a row for me in Diamond starting tomorrow morning. It'll be my 23rd consecutive Diamond season. So yes, I am the Everton of OOTP Diamond, or so it seems. I hang around and I hang around and I hang around. I don't get relegated. I don't get promoted. I'm down there. Okay, I'm in the thick of it. So anyway, Christy Mathewson is going to be a fixture in the bullpen for a while. Same thing with Tom Terrific. I got those two cards about the same time, and Seaver, I don't know whether he has earned a spot up in the rotation or not. We'll leave him where he's at for now, and if he shows up really well sometime next season in Diamond, we might consider moving him up. And especially if somebody over here in the rotation is really stinking up the joint. So we will take all of that into consideration sometime over the course of this coming week, and be making adjustments as we go. As I tend to be more of a set it and forget it kind of a guy. I don't like to micro very much, but I do like to try to keep a handle on my pitching. So anyway, that's what we have going here. Oh, Geoman, thank you for the kind words there. Congrats on 23. That's not easy. I can tell you right now, it was not easy. It was not easy at all. 23, it'll be 23 straight Diamond seasons, trying for even more after that. The best whip on the team belonged to Dennis Eckersley at a nice little 0.97. So you might as well say his whip was 1. Next best looks like it's Tug McGraw at 1.06. And then after that, what is it, 1.36? Yeah, 1.36 out of KB up here was the next best whip. And then after that, let's see, it looks like Mort Cooper with his 143. No, the 141 from Carl Hubble. Okay. So yeah, even though Hubble had a little bit of a rough go of it, his whip was decent. It was respectable. So we can't fault him there. But then 143, 1.43 out of Mort Cooper. So yeah, we'll see how everything plays out this coming season, and see what, if any, adjustments I need to make. Because bear in mind, I still have some great pitching sitting in reserves here. I've got Red Ames on the bench. I've got Vida Blue on the bench. I've got, who else do I have on the bench that could do the job? Live Clase won't get it done. Live Diaz won't either. Raleigh Fingers I've got sitting on the bench. Okay. I've got Lee Smith. Lee Smith is riding the pines right now. He could easily be brought up if need be to fill a nasty boy style role. So we'll see just how all those guys do, or if we indeed need to move anybody. I saw a couple of teams in this Diamond 350 League that were actually running Jim McCormick and getting halfway decent results out of him. In fact, I lost a game to a Jim McCormick on some other team in my league. With numbers as kind of inauspicious as these, he really shone out big time that game. My Mad Dog, same sort of thing. His stuff and control in the long run and in aggregate, he won't show up nearly as well as most of these other pitching cards. Tex Houston, about the same sort of thing. He's got decent movement, somewhat decent control, but that 80 stuff kills him. Absolutely kills him. So we'll see what, if anything, needs to be done this coming season. If somebody starts stinking up the joint over here, we can always take a look and see what options we have on the bench to pick up that ball and run with it. So yeah, I do have 2 Tatis Juniors. I did draw one yesterday over the course of the stream, and we're keeping that second one in case Tatis Jr. shows up in a live mission, or that is a mission that uses live cards starting later on in this game cycle. So we're really anxious to see if he raises in value. He's already a decent value, something like 23-24K, as opposed to the bare minimum 2201 or 20001 is bare minimum, I should say. But anyway, yeah, we're hanging on to him for the time being, and if the opportunity presents itself for me to sell him and get a quick 20K out of him, I'll be more than glad to do that. But for right now, I'm pretty pleased with how things are going. We have some distance to make up in some of the missions. We're somewhat close on one or two, and we'll see what kind of progress I can make out of them, because I'm not done selling cards yet on this particular team. So anyway, that's what the pitching staff looked like. What did my lineups look like? I think I had two 300 hitters, but only one if I discount Bullet Joe Rogan. He didn't get to play very much. He got to play in 5 games, none of which he started, 6 plate appearances and 2 hits. So yeah, he had a 333 batting average. Well, not too bad, but he didn't get to come in and play as a position player very often. If you look at his card, you think of him primarily as a pitcher, and he is, but look at all those positions this guy can play. He is a superhuman player to be able to cover this much ground with all of his tools that he has to play by. He's a side armor, neutral side armor, so he doesn't have a fly ball, ground ball tendency. You can pretty much get anything and everything out of Bullet Joe Rogan. But anyway, you can see his numbers here and his hitting. 92 contact. Let's go. No wonder he was batting 333. And he's got an L10 of over 30K. So yeah, people like this card. I see Dragon says you used him for a long time, but he worked as a follower, okay, in a specialty park. Now on reserves, too many good options at pitcher recently. Yes, you bet your booties there are too many good options at pitcher. Okay, Radman saying his McCormick has been very inconsistent in Gold League. His cold streaks followed by hot ones, okay. The end result is less than mediocre. Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. Huseman saying he's given up on McCormick, basically like I have. Okay, emergency filler in the bullpen, maybe? Possible. But no, this one team that managed to take a game off of me, and their McCormick won. He was their starter. He was not a follower. He was not an opener, so to speak. But from their ballpark factors, whatever, he didn't seem to play in very consistently with the ballpark factors. But it wasn't too bad a performance, at least for that one game where I got to see him do his best stuff. But right now, Jackie Robinson, at the end of the season, he's my one and only 300 hitter. And OC is right behind him at 280. So I had OC as my DH and also as my leadoff hitter. KK, King Kelly, was down at the bottom. Look at that, negative 1.6 batting runs. Sheesh. Really, really poor for him. But Harmon Killebrew was my only negative WAR at 0.4 negative. And he didn't acquit himself too well. I think once I get some other outfielders in the fold, and I may not be too far away, I think if I can get hold of a Kurt Flood card, that might finish filling my outfield, and I can set Mr. Killebrew down. He's good for an occasional home run. How does his power numbers look here? He had only 3 home runs, but then he only played in 38 games because he was a starting pitcher against a backup first baseman, and I think also maybe he's a backup left fielder. Okay, there he is, against righties. And what is he against lefties? Still backup left fielder, and he doesn't even come into the first base equation at all. So yeah, he played 35 games as a backup player primarily. He did start part of the season, I think, against right-handed pitching, and we moved him out of that into strictly a backup role. But Ken Griffey Jr. had a decent season, 266. Cal Jr. at 268. We already saw OC at 280. Then Brooksy down here, 262. Then there's Killer. Then McCovey at 257. McCovey had a decent set of home run numbers. He kind of led the team. Now I need to maybe get rid of some splits here. Let's get rid of the splits. And we see, okay, yeah, here we go. There we go. That looks a lot better. Killer had 8 home runs total. And where is he? I'm looking for, there's Willie. Okay, he ended up with 16 round trippers. I guess he was tied for 4th on the team. Lou Gehrig's 25 led the pack. Then we had a couple of 17s come in here off Hank Aaron and Little Joe Morgan. Then we had a couple of 16s in here, OC and McCovey at 16. And right behind them was Ken Griffey Jr. at 15. So we had some fairly decent power numbers. How did we look in home runs here? We came in 4th in the conference in home runs. We were 1st in WOBA, 1st in OPS, 2nd in on-base percentage, 3rd in batting average. So the offense carried a little bit more of the day than my pitching did, even though the pitching wasn't too bad. My bullpen got beat up this season. No matter what I did with the bullpen, they got beat up. Next to last in the conference in bullpen ERA. But the starters acquitted themselves very, very well. They came in 4th in ERA with a 4.08 composite. Pitching WAR, 5th. So, yeah, I can't complain there either. We did well in base running and in stolen bases. Home runs, like I said, we were 4th. Runs scored 3rd. Okay, and we ended up with, what was it, a 45 run differential. A 45 run RDIF. And we acquitted ourselves very, very well. And I don't want to keep overusing that word, acquitted well. Okay? I'll try not to use that one again. Let's see. Nothing much else here to report, except we are looking forward to a full Diamond season with all of my new cards. That would be Eckersley. That would be Tom Terrific. That would be Christy Mathewson. I've got Frank Robinson also as an option if I want to replace Harmon Killebrew. So there's another good power hitting option that I might be able to utilize starting tomorrow. But for right now, that's the only card that I'm really considering moving at this particular point in the proceedings. So that's what the Flames look like, and we are looking forward to Diamond season number 23 in a row. And if you go back even further, it'll be their 24th Diamond season out of the last 25. There was one season in there where I made it to Diamond League and then I got promptly relegated back to Gold. But I wasn't ashamed of that because there again, I've said it many times on here, was that first season I was in Diamond, there were only 10 Diamond Leagues and they were packed with teams that were raring to go and get into Perfect League, except there was no Perfect League for them to get into. There weren't enough Diamond Leagues for the game to be able to form a Perfect League. You needed, I think, a minimum of 24 teams or 24 diamond champions, so to speak, to make up that's what happened. The very, very first Perfect League only amounted to 24 teams. You had 6 different 4-team divisions. Okay. So Radman saying that BJR has exceeded his expectations. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it depends, because BJR he can run hot or cold for me. This particular season, he ran a little bit cold. So we'll see how he does next season. You never know. He might find his way back into the rotation again. It all depends on the RNG. However the RNG chooses to treat me this coming season, we'll have to take it and make adjustments as best we can and live with the results. We all know that game because it's a game we've all basically played no matter what level of difficulty or what level of competition that you're at, you're going to find that the game in its complexity is so deep and has so many options that I mean, like it boggles the mind to think of it. I mean, like if I were Mr. Spock from Star Trek, I wouldn't be able to apply logic to it. It doesn't pay to apply logic to OOTP. It doesn't really pay off in the long run, but that's another story. So we are looking pretty fair on the Flames, and we're going to be back for another diamond season. So let's get out of here. I want to take a look at my 2 longest running tournaments, and I'm hoping they're both still running, and they are. 5 and 6 have been running for a little bit of time. 5 looks like the longest running because it is numerically lower than 6, and 6 is bringing a sim anyway. So let us go and take a look and see. I did the wrong thing. I clicked on the perfect draft. Okay, another case of, and you know what I'm going for. Go! Yep, that's what I'm going for. Okay, now. Oh, and it takes forever for this thing to start because it's got to cycle to 256, or really only 52 teams, because only 52 teams, including myself, have joined this particular TWIPT Friday showdown. So we're going to come back out. Let's go to 3205. Here we go. And then maybe take a look at 35 or 3206. Don't know why I've got the number 35 in my head. I think I know why. Immediately before the stream, I was talking with a Dayton area friend of mine, and US 35 cuts a swath right through Dayton. So I was thinking about that road a little bit. Okay, the Jefferson City Capitals, who they belong to, B. Phil B. We know B. Phil B. We run into him a lot, in not only in Discord, but also in here in Twitch. We see him all over the place, but I'm playing his Jefferson City Capitals right now, and they are leading me by a count of 2-1 in round number 2. So that's what this tournament is looking like. Let's see what that 3206 looks like. And then we'll move on and take a look at the sad news about my number 2 team, the Wildcats. Oh, I could cry, but I won't. Okay, 3206 coming up. Okay, nothing new in chat. And I trust that that the music is of a pleasing volume. It is for me, at least, anyway. Come on, game. Here we go. Hey, I'm leading round 2, 2-0 over the Green Island Whitehawks, owned by Doug the Canuck. I would trust this guy is a Canadian. Okay, let me find out by looking at his team. Now, he flies under a U.S. flag. He does fly under a U.S. flag, so, well, hard to say. Hard to say. But I'm leading this one 2-0, and I'm glad to see that at least. So let's get out of here, and we'll go see the sad tale on my Wildcats. They didn't do too good. Oh, whine, whimper, whimper, whine. Let me try that again. You know how much good whining does a person in this game. There is no crying in baseball, right? Whoops. There is no crying in baseball. Let's try that again. Something didn't feel right. And there we go. Okay, I've got an Iron Best of 5 I need to spam. So bear with me a moment. Oh, that one's full, so I'll hit it on the way out of here. Okay, let's see. And these folks have 9 packs that they picked up since yesterday, mostly fueled by card sales that happened over the course of the stream and afterwards. Not much in the way of achievements, but I do have some cool stuff to show. Just in case you didn't see in Discord, my number 3 team has a fun thing to reveal. So we came in dead last, not only in the division, despite a last game win of 14-5. Let's look at how we looked in the promotion relegation. We were down here at the very, very bottom, tied for the league basement. Okay, I'm sorry, not quite tied for the league basement. We ended up 1 game out of it, but tied for the next 2 spots up. So these bottom 4 teams, they're going to go back. They're going to bronze next season. That's 2 straight relegations for these Wildcats. Now, I'm kind of ashamed of that, but maybe they can pick up some perfect points and maybe buy some good packs come starting tomorrow. So we are ready for ad break number 2. I think you recognized the sound when you heard it. So let's go ahead and do ad break number 2, and we'll get ready to go take a look at team number 3, my Juggernauts. Okay, here we go. Be ready. Okay, gang, we are back after the ad break, and we are ready to go take a look at team number 3. Because this team, we've pretty much looked it over. I'm too ashamed to go in and look and see how lousy the team performances were. We're going to leave everything like it is because this team is way too good to be sent down to bronze. You can see we had a -4 Pythagorean. Those 4 games would have gotten me out of relegation. But nope, not this time around. So let's get out of here. I think we're fully spammed up on tournaments now. And we can enter another one. Let's go ahead and do that. 64-14, 64-15, and 17, and Iron best of 5. There we are. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. This is a packs only team that relies on the proceeds of its packs to either win mission rewards or just use cards that come straight out of packs. So that's the makeup of that team, plus the team we're getting ready to go see. So let's go and get into that 3rd team, and then we'll start thinking about doing some historical stuff. Okay, whoops. Got a couple of Ace of Irons I need to get into. There we go. 29-32. Won't be long before I can enter one more. Okay, that one's already up to 31 out of 32, so that's not too bad. Okay, so these guys, as my number 3 team, look at how many packs we picked up since yesterday's big pack rip. We're already sitting on 22 packs. This team has something cool to reveal, and we'll show you here very, very shortly. One of my players had a monster, and I do mean monster, game of OOTP here in silver. And I'll wait for the blue circle of doom. There it is, and we'll be in momentarily, I think. Usually that blue circle indicates that I will be going in. There we go. I want you to just take a look at a little set of statistics here. Take a look at what happened on October 1st with my Fred Pfeffer. 200-point achievement for extra base hit machine. He had 4 dingers. 4 dingers. Drive them in, 10 ribbies. That got me 3,000 perfect points. Touch the plate, 4 runs. There's another 50 perfect points. Slugger, for the 4 home runs, I got 6,000 perfect points. Yikes. And then hit machine going 4 for 4. So yeah, he just about, quite literally, no pun intended, just about touched all the bases. He practically touched all of the available bases. 10 ribbies and 4 dingers. Woohoo! Okay, so Fred Pfeffer acquitted himself, and there's that word again. He did a nice job. Let's put it that way. Fred Pfeffer, he did his job and then some. Just in this one game alone, pulled in nearly 10,000 perfect points all by his lonesome self. So I bought 10 packs with the proceeds of all this stuff just out of one game, I might add. But we used that to buy 10 of the 11 new packs that I added on top of what I already had, to give us a grand total of 22. I started out this morning with 11, and then I got in there to see all of the perfect points that were gained from achievements. So that got me up to 22 packs that I'm saving now for this coming Wednesday's pack rip, and we will hopefully have some nice stuff to show and to pull out of those packs. But here, 74 and 88, not the best record in the world, but not I'd say fairly far from the worst, because here's where we ended up in the league scheme of things. And you can see I ended up 5 full games outside of relegation. That for me was pretty pleasing to see. So these guys will be back for another silver season. And how many silver seasons will this be for them now? Let's take a look. Hang on. Telling me my tournament had started. So let's see here. We want to do something that allows me to pull up my managerial record and look at how many consecutive. Okay, oh, we did have a bronze season in there. I forgot that already. Okay, but they had some silver seasons right here. They spent a lot of time in bronze, but 1, 2, and then they had a gold season, then 3 silver seasons, then back to bronze again, and we've been in silver ever since. So yeah, they've had a fairly consistent stay here at the silver level. So they will be back for yet another silver season starting tomorrow morning. And we won't go in to take a look at them too much, except perhaps I want to look at some individual performances. I want to see the numbers that Fred Pfeffer ended up with. I want to see how Fred Pfeffer looked. He had kind of a mediocre 250 average, struck out 126 times, 10 double plays that he grounded out into. Sheesh. Okay. But he had 10.7 positive batting runs, which leads the team. So that tells you that despite that 250 average, he is leading the team in batting runs. Looks like maybe the second best batting runs belonged to one Mr. Mule Suttles up here. And on the opposite side of the coin, minus 7.3 as opposed to Mule's positive 7.3, there's Shoeless Joe with his negative 7.3. So it looks like the batting really hurt me. And let's see. If I look at this, yes, look at my pitching is consistently higher ranked. The batting, not so much. Not so much. So we need to pick up our bats a little bit and get them off our shoulders and start hitting the ball. All told, that's what I'm hoping for starting tomorrow morning. In silver for the, what looks like maybe about the 11th consecutive time, and maybe 14th out of the last 15 times around. Okay, so let's jump out of here and we'll go back to team number 1, my Flames, and see what kind of historical hijinks we can get into back there. Okay, so I need to spam another Ace of Iron. Wasn't able to before because it was all full. Okay, now there we go. That one's only got 17 of 32. I can get into that one. Alrighty, so let's get out of here and we'll go back to the number 1 team. We're going to do an historical challenge. Alrighty, 2 and 5, 2 and 6, 2 and 7. Okay, let's go over here to new historical game. I'll share a funny little anecdote from when I was actually testing this out after they made the new in-game notifications live. I'll show you a little something I did by mistake, and I'll tell you how that little mistake played out. Because I didn't follow all of my own advice when it comes to historical challenges. Okay, so here, I don't need to do anything here because I've already got my era and my year set. I play as the 27 Yankees, and it'll remember that for the rest of the game cycle's life. Because I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. Hughesman says, Pfeffer has been one of your weak links on your theme team. Better luck to your Pfeffer. He, okay. Is his nickname Hassan? Hassan Pfeffer. Did he actually say that stupid Bugs Bunny joke? Okay. Okay. Fred Pfeffer. Yep. We're going to click here to get both of those things chosen. And we move on to here. And we move on to here. And we move on to here. And I'm going to name the game today's date 2202. Whoops, let's try 2202, not 3303. 11. Okay, no. Dyslexic fingers. Okay, 11, 12, 13. Today's the 13th, okay? And it's 3:54 p.m. There we go. And I'm going to save the game once a virtual month so that we are done there. So I'm going to try my best to get this completed in as short a time as possible so that I can go in and play an historical challenge. And I want chat to be thinking about an opponent for my 1976 Reds. Be thinking ahead, and I will ask for it at the appropriate time. Please don't put anything in the chat now or I might not see it. Okay? I'll tell you when I'll be looking for an opponent for my 1976 returning champion Reds. Okay? So we're playing as the 27 Yankees. We choose them. Let's move on. Nothing new there. Okay. Okay, now we're ready to configure the continue button. And here's where I made the mistake that I accidentally did. And we'll show you what that was. I always tell people to uncheck everything. I managed to uncheck everything except for this final item. Show and play today's game. I did remember to come over here and change the continue button's time frame that it covers as 1 week. But show and play today's game. here's what happens when you do this sort of thing. If you leave that checked and make this into 1 week, once you hit the continue button, the first thing it's going to do is start you into a game that you're going to play. You're actually going to play the game because you've left this checked. It's going to show and play today's game. So what I would do once I discovered my mistake and there was no way out of it for the rest of that simulated season, when it came to the play button inside of the game, I would tell it to move to the end of the game and complete the game. And that way I didn't have to wait too long for each individual's weekly sim to take place. Because after that very, very first game was forced into play mode, and otherwise you have to work your way around it, after that, everything else is automated. I'd have to play the first game, but everything else in that week was zip, 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 just went right through it like a hot knife through butter. And the rest of the week's sims played out. But the very, very first sim, when I left that checkbox there, it ended up slowing me down by about 5 to 10 extra minutes. So it took me 10 or 15 minutes to finish what should have been a 5-minute job. So anyway, so we're going to uncheck it, leave that, make that a week. We'll move on. And we are ready to come up here, and we do one more, and it's going to autoplay until we get to opening day. Okay. Nothing new in chat. Good luck to everybody that's still in the playoffs. How are the playoff pushes going? Anybody in chat still active in their playoffs? Kim is chilling. Is this 1920s historical save? It's not an historical save. It's a historical challenge, Kim is chilling, from the main OOTP screen, where you can choose to go into perfect league or perfect team over on the right hand side. Over on the left hand side, it says historical game, and that's what you hit, is historical game. And then I chose the right era and the right year because I want to play as the 1927 Yankees. This free pack business is predicated on achievements. The 27 Yankees pump out achievements like none other that I've had experience with. So every time you get any single achievement, you have a chance to win a pack. And you're only allowed to claim one pack every 72 hours of real time, which means, like for me, I like to do historical challenges and get my packs on Sunday afternoon or evening, whatever, okay? And then again in the middle of the week. On Wednesday, it has to be exactly 72 hours or 3 full days after the last ones that I did on the previous Sunday. Anywhere from that 72-hour window completing to maybe through Thursday morning, no later than little after lunch on Thursday, do I try to get my packs in, my midweek packs. And the reason I say packs, even though you only get one every 72 hours, I've got 3 teams. I can get 3 packs, one for each team. And that's what I'm trying to go for here, is to get a pack out of these guys, out of my Flames, and I'll do the other 2 teams later on this evening after the stream is complete. Okay, and I'll probably end up going for their second time around on Thursday and try to hit the Flames, this particular team that I'm playing right now, on their historical challenge. I'll try to get their midweek pack on Wednesday night. Okay, so we are going to continue on because it's now opening day. And if I hit continue, it should go through a week's worth of Sims, and boom, we are done. And right away, I get 3 achievements. I did not get a pack yet. You will see a pack turn up with a shape of a box back here, a rectangular box that's mostly vertical in character, lesser on the horizontal side, and should show up a little bit above this congratulations box, and the rest of it a little bit below. Everything else is hidden behind the box. And you should be able to see whether or not you got a standard pack, or if the game is feeling kindly towards you, you could win a gold pack. Okay, but I've got 3 achievements here so far, no pack yet. So let's keep on going. We'll continue on. And if I zip through this thing like none other, I generally get through a season, simulated season, in a week. And 9 times out of 10, I will get that pack on my first try. Okay, so we're up to maybe, what, 7 achievements so far? We'll continue on. Yankees are up on top of the league. There's another achievement, still no pack. 2 more achievements, still packless. No achievement that week. 1 more here. Nothing that week. 1 achievement here, and I've got a note I need to mark off here. Next week. Yeah, see, in the managerial letter that are addressed to Old Sparky, I have my manager set up as Old Sparky Anderson, who was my favorite Reds manager's daddy. Fictional, of course. Okay, no achievement that week. Beginning to wonder if I'm going to get a pack this time around, or if I have to go a second go around to get one. Building up a little bit of a lead in the league. Babe Ruth with an on-base streak of so many games. Okay, no achievement that week. Keep going. Nothing that week either. Come on, game. Nah, nothing that week. Let's keep going. Okay, finally, an achievement. There we go. So all we're doing right now is trying to work our way around to getting enough achievements to earn a pack randomly from any one of them. The more achievements, the more chances you get. 2 more there, still nothing. There's my pack right there. There it is. And I got a standard pack. Okay. Otherwise, if this game was giving you a gold pack, you would see a goldish tinge to the notification. But I did get my pack. Now I still have to finish out the rest of the season to keep on the continued achievements and all the other stuff. Even though I don't need any more achievements, I still need to go through all of them. Okay, nothing there. No achievement there. Okay, keep going. Two more achievements. There's Babe Ruth's 400th home run. You can count on that happening every time you run the 27 Yankees, which is kind of cool, I think. I get to see number 700 get hit as a manager, no less. Home run streak from Lou Gehrig. Let's go. But I already have my pack, so I'm kind of semi-zipping now. But look up here. We're already halfway through September, up here at the very top. Okay. If I leave my cursor there and do this zoom it, will I see it? It's not, the Zoom is not working. Okay. So let's keep on moving. Let's see. We'll hit the continue up here. Up here at the top is where you can see how far along you are in the season. Okay. We're down now to September 26th. I think only about another week or part of a week after this. 110 wins for the Yankees. Hi-yo! And let's see how they finish up. They finished up with, good grief, look at this. Look at this. They ended up 111-43. You see that up here at the very top? I think they had 5 season-ending achievements. 2020 player for Tony Lazzari. We're going to the playoffs, which all the National League winners, in fact, the winners of both leagues go on to the World Series. So in real life, in 1927, it was the Pittsburgh Pirates that the Yankees got to play, and I think they took all 4 games in a sweep, and a ticker tape parade that took place the following morning, and there was a lot of cleanup to do after that particular parade. But here, the season is now over. We got an ERA crown from Mr. Herb Pennock. Babe Ruth was the home run champ. Lou Gehrig won the diamond, I'm sorry, not diamond, but he won the batting title. And then Tony Lazzari got to be a 2020 player, and the fact that the entire team is going to the playoffs. We got another achievement for that. But these extra achievements, I don't know if they really count for anything because we've already got the pack that we wanted. So let's keep on moving. And at this particular juncture, I think once we play the World Series, then we're going to do a fast forward. And we got to play past this too. I've already put my my stuff in for, let's see, what am I thinking of here? No, on second thought, past that thought. Okay, the season is over. I got a decent score. We passed with flying colors, which means we met all of our owners' goals, okay, which is cool. We were champions of the World Series, beat the St. Louis Cardinals, the Gas House Boys, I do believe, or Gas House Gang, I'm sorry, folks. The date, okay, all right, owner goal was complete. So yeah, we managed to get that one done. So that's even more achievements that you get for winning the World Series, basically. So let's move on. And now we're going to do a fast forward to December the 4th. December the 04 of 1927, because by then the folks here on this particular simulation get to rest their feet a little bit and send their brethren on other teams on to win or come in second or whatever in their own historical challenges. But we won this one 4-2, and you can see the dates zip by right up here. So Lou Gehrig got MVP. Pitcher of the Year was Herb Pennock. Manager of the Year was yours truly, strictly from my masterful skill with clicking a mouse. But who had the great bat? Lou Gehrig as first baseman, and Mark Koenig had a great glove with all of his defensive prowess. No wonder he got awarded with that. But anyway, this season is done. We got our pack. We are ready to call it quits on this historical challenge, and we can come back out to here. I repeat that same thing for each one of my other 2 teams and try to get another pack out of 5 minutes worth of time spent with them. Okay, now I do need to take a very quick break, so I'm going to run an ad break just a little bit early because I do need to step out for just a moment. We will be back as soon as I can, and hopefully everything should be working okay this time. Let's see what we got. Okay, I need to make sure that I've got another window up and running. Yes, we do. Okay, let's go ahead and hit this and hit this. A word from our sponsors. Okay, gang, we are back, and I see a question there from Eleanor Frisbee. Who is the manager? Orgo Anderson? Nope. It is old Sparky, who is young Sparky that won the World Series in 75 and 76 with the Reds, and also in 84 with the Detroit Tigers. As far as I know, the only manager who has won a World Series in both circuits. So, yeah, his dad is old Sparky. The one from 75, 76, and 84 is, I guess, young Sparky, for lack of a better term. So, anyway, let us move on, and we can say that this one is done. I do need to spam an ace of bronze because my 3205 fizzled out. Alrighty, so we are going to spam up another ace of bronze. This is number 18, which means if that one's 18 and this one is 6, 6 has been running long enough, I may be getting somewhat close to packing already. I would love to be able to pack as early as I can, because I only got 9 tournament packs yesterday, plus 5 drops. I only got 14 packs out of yesterday, and we opened 5 of them, the drops, during yesterday's stream. So I'm really kind of on the fence again about my bronze tournament team. Do I need to replace them? The moment I start making noises like I'm going to replace them, and then they come back and hit me with 2 pack-a-paloozas in a row. So they're very, very unpredictable, very streaky with their wins and their defeats. All right, I want to take a look and see what this number 06 tournament looks like before we go out. And I'll come back here. Kim is chilling. I'll show you again what to click on to get yourself and try to earn yourself a pack, a single pack every 72 hours. Okay? You saw just about everything else, I think, except for that step. Hey, I'm moving on to the quarterfinals. I have swept these Green Island Whitehawks. Ooh, baby. And who was it that I beat back here in the round 1? And I took game 7 off of them. Who was this? They look halfway familiar. The New Haven Thunder that are owned by Dean VM. That rings a bell. Don't know that I've ever heard of Dean VM. Okay, so let's get out of here. And I'll show Kim is chilling one more time. I'm going to try. Okay, do I have it? Let's see. Do I have it? Do I have it? No, I don't have it. It is not there. Okay, let me try something else somewhere else. Bear with me. There we go. Now I can do it. I'm pointing at this thing right here. Kim is chilling. See that? My Epic Pen arrow was kind of dysfunctional there for a second. I had to go someplace else to kick it into gear. But what I'm pointing at right there, that's the one that will get you a free pack every 72 hours. Myself, I choose to do Sunday as my consistent weekend day, and then I do Wednesday night through Thursday morning, no later than a little bit after Thursday lunch, to get my midweek set done. So that way I've got a consistent time frame on the weekends and a consistent time frame in the midweek, so that I get 2 packs per week per team, and try to keep it easy that way, so that this old fart and his defective gray cells can actually remember to get the thing done, instead of being what I would term to be rather anal retentive and go, oh, it's been exactly 72 hours since my last historical challenge. I got to do another one. And then 3 days later, got to do another one, even if it's not the same day as when you did your first one. Okay? Getting it exactly every 72 hours, everybody's going to be different. Okay? Everybody's going to be different. You're going to play it the way you want to play it. But I'm just sharing with you the way that I choose to play it. That's the easiest for me to remember. To do it on Sunday and do it on Wednesday night through Thursday morning, and I'm golden. and I'm covered on all bases because I've got a 72 hour on either side of that midweek time frame. Okay, so I'm going to clear this out, and we are ready to go do us an historical exhibition. Erie GM, hi there. Ha ha ha. Okay, you started to type something and you stopped. Okay, now folks, okay, I'm ready for suggestions on an opponent for my 1976 Reds. So who we gonna have play the 76 Reds this trip? First answer in chat gets it. How do I set the user? Oh, the user in challenge mode, it's the account. If you're signed into any given account, you have to sign into an account to get to any of this stuff. Okay? If I logged out and logged back in as my second team, I could do another historical challenge on them. And that's how I log in. Okay? You set the user by doing it all up front. By logging into an account first and getting to this screen. You log into an account, get to this screen, then come over here to new historical game and start the process. So you can't really set the user at this stage. At this stage it's too late. You have to set the user, which is up here. You see, like right here. Now here I can maybe show a little bit. If I can do this, let me try this. Bear with me a moment. Okay, the ellipse. Okay, now let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, no, it didn't do it. Let me try it one more time someplace else. Let me try someplace else even. There we go. Okay, now it'll do it for me. Okay, take a look right here. Right there. You see where I've got it circled? That guy right there. When you're signed into an account, I've got my Gorgo 2005 as one account, and I've already done my historical challenge on this account. You hit log out up here. Oops, hang on. Let me try that again. Okay, we're going to clear it. Once you do log out right here, dang gummit, I did it right in the middle again. Let's try it here. There we are. Once you do log out right here, then you can log in as a different user, and you can do the historical challenge over here on that account and do, because you get to do it on each one of your teams. Each one of your teams is based on a different login. Okay, so that's how you set your user. You don't really do it from inside of the historical challenge. You do it up front before you even get this far. Okay, all right, now I'll go ahead and clear it. We'll get out of here and get ready to do. Okay, now I didn't see a suggestion for a team for my 76 Reds to play in the next historical simulated World Series. First suggestion wins. Yes, Erie GM, you are exactly right. If you have 3 teams, you can do 3 historical challenges, one on each team every 72 hours. You have to allow 72 hours from the completion of the first one to go to the second one. Okay? 67 cards. Bikey, you've got it. 67 cards. Okay? 75 Reds. We've already done the 75 Reds versus the 76, but we'll maybe come back to revisit that sometime in the future there, Erie GM. But Bikey 99 was the first one to chime in, so he has won the suggestion contest, for lack of a better term. 67 cards. So let us go and see. Okay, I'm going to hit the historical game. Oops, oh, I'm sorry, I did not hit my cursor clear. Okay, there we go. Historical game. And we start, and this is where I get the idea of historical challenge, because when you hit on new historical game, what's the first thing it hits you up with? Challenge mode. So many people call these historical challenges. And you can do one every 72 hours for each account to get yourself a free pack for that account. So I don't need to repeat everything that I just did. But for the 76, I'm going to cancel. For the 76 Reds versus the 67 Cards, we're coming down here to historical exhibition. And we will choose the Cardinals first. 67 will fit in the same time frame as my Reds. So we're going to leave the era the same. We're going to go 1967. And we're going to go Cardinals. St. Louis. There we go. All right, so there they are. They are the visiting team, because my returning champ Reds get the luxury of being the home team. All right, and this would be at the time that the old Busch Stadium was standing, and that was the very, very first stadium that I ever really got to see as a little kid. And that was because one of my sisters, she and her husband were moving to East St. Louis for him to take a job. And it was before they had any of their kids. They did not have any kids yet. And they went out there to East St. Louis. So driving out there, I got to see the back, for what was back then, a brand new Gateway Arch. I got to see the new Gateway Arch, and right as you're crossing the river, or as you're approaching the Mississippi River, you look through the arch, and there was the old Busch Stadium. And I thought it was really kind of cool that there were scallops that went around the outer perimeter of the upstairs part of the stadium that attached the canopy that overlooked or really covered over the top layer of seats. And there were little scallops in the border of that canopy that very much resembled the shape, the parabolic shape of the Gateway Arch. So I thought, okay, man, that's when I started developing an interest in geometry of all crazy things. But that was the very, very first stadium that I ever got to see. Major League Stadium, I should say, because it was before I'd ever even made it to Cincinnati my first time, let alone my umpty-gazillionth time. That I've been living now in Cincinnati since 1990 in this area. And it's the longest I've ever stayed settled in one place. But the very, very first Major League Stadium that I ever saw in person was the old Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis, through the needle or the eye of the needle of the Gateway Arch, just before we got to the Mississippi River. So I thought that was really, really, really cool, because I helped my sister and her husband move out there. So I went along for the ride so that I could get to see some big city, for a change. We had to pass through Columbus on our way out to St. Louis, because St. Louis is right there on I-70. So we took the jaunt up from I-70. I believe it was 77 that we took north. And then we got on 70 west and stuck with it until we got to St. Louis. So that was a favorite memory of mine from my little kid days. Bikey99 says Dad was in the Air Force and moved there in 1967. Great team. Okay, I can't wait to see. How many MLB ballparks have I been to? Kim is chilling. Okay, I have been to both of Cincinnati's current, that is, recent stadiums ever since I moved here in 1990. I've been to Riverfront. I've been to Great American Ballpark. So I've been to those two. When I was in college at Ohio University, I got to march at a football game at Three Rivers Stadium, so that counts as a ballpark, because the Steelers shared Three Rivers with the Pirates, but I did not get to see a baseball game then. Okay, in fact, the first time I was ever in Riverfront Stadium was when I was in marching band, and we played Ohio University's marching band played at a Bengals game. My freshman year, we got to play there. So I haven't let's see. So Cincinnati's 2 stadiums. I've been to a ball game. I've been to Progressive Field in Cleveland. I've been to the old Cleveland Stadium in Cleveland before they built the new football field on the lakefront. So I've been to 2 stadiums in Cleveland, both of which back then the Indians played in. I have been to Coors Field in Denver. And I've been by the Angel Stadium out in Anaheim. I didn't really go to a game, but I drove past it back in 1978 when we were out west with my wife and I were just newlyweds then. We'd been married a year, and we drove out to California to visit my California sister, who sadly has since left this plane of existence. But we drove out there to visit her and her family, and in part of our driving around, we went past the Angel Stadium. I'm trying to think now too, over time, how many other baseball fields have I been by that were major league fields? And right now, the Old Busch Stadium, Three Rivers, Riverfront, and Great American Ballpark, so we're up to 4. Coors Field would be 5. So I think all told, yeah, I've been to 5 ball. Oh wait, yeah, the 2 Cleveland ones. So I think, yeah, seven ballparks that have been home to baseball games. Even though I may not have been there for the occasion of a baseball game, I've been to 7 facilities that hosted baseball at some point in time. So I can say that I've actually been to the ballpark, you might as well say. So seven parks are all I've really been to. And Bikey says his first major league game was the Cards against my Reds. Oh, nice. Okay. And that was back in '67. So that would be a decent little piece of fun. So I'm going to choose down here as the home team. We're going to go with the baseball boom again, and we're going to choose 1976, and of course we're going to choose my Reds because they are the returning defending champions. We're going to use the 1976 settings, 25 players per team, and we're going to disable injuries. I do not like injuries to play a part in these simulations, okay? So let's go ahead and get this started, and we're going to get going with game number 1. We only have about 10 minutes left before our final ad break of the day, and I don't know how many games we'll get to at least partially play out, but we will see. We're going to simulate until we run into a game of interest. Okay, so we're going to the Play Ball tab, and I will simulate today. Let's see what happens. Bob Gibson on the mound for the Cardinals from '67, and Pat Zachary from the '76 Reds. So who is going to take game 1 of this World Series? And 76 beats 67. It's inverse number 11-5. Let's look at the box score. Ooh, baby, it started out kind of even Steven here in the beginning and then went downhill fairly fast starting in the 4th inning, or really starting in the bottom of the 3rd, or the top of the 3rd, or bottom of the 3rd, yeah. Because, yeah, the Reds came back. We spotted St. Louis to a 1-run lead, and then we came back with 2 in our half of the 1st. Then they took a 3-2 lead and made it 4-2 before we stormed back to steal the lead at 6-4, then 7-4, then 7-5, then 11-5, and that was the final score. So what happened? Top of the 1st, Tim McCarver hit a run-scoring single off Pat Zachary. But in the bottom of the 1st, George Foster with a 2-run Johnson versus Bob Gibson. Holy crap, okay? And the top of the 3rd, Dal Maxville. I remember him well. He hit a run-scoring single off of Zachary. What happened in the 2nd inning, I wonder? But bottom of the 3rd, when the Reds erupted for a 4 spot, Pete Rose hit a 2-run home run off of Bob Gibson. Can you imagine that? Pete Rose with his tiny power number, yeesh, okay, and hit a 2-run jack on Bob. Okay, so let's see what happened in that second inning for St. Louis. I'm kind of curious what happened in that second inning. I got to look at the game log for that. Let's see how they got those 2 runs. Top of the first. Here we go. That's only, oh yeah, there we go. Mike Shannon in the leadoff slot in the top of the second inning hit a solo home run. Then Dal Maxville followed him up with a single, so we have man at first with 1 run in and 1 man out, and now 1 man on. A sac bunt by the pitcher moved Dal Maxville over to second. Then Alex Johnson struck out swinging. Kurt Flood gets up there and hits a single that ends up driving Maxville home, because he came home and was safe on the throw home from Cesar Geronimo. So that's where St. Louis got its 2 runs. But now, bottom of the third, when the Reds erupted and took the lead. Gosh, look at what happened here. Had to change pitchers, it was so bad. So, first man up, we got a fly ball off of Pat Zachary's bat. Ken Griffey Sr. got up there and drew a walk on a 3-1 pitch. Got onto first base, and there's the 2-run shot from Pete Rose on a 1-1 pitch. Hit it out. Let's see. It looks like he hit it out to right center field. Exit velocity of 106.2 miles per hour. Let's go, Pete. But hit it 399 feet. He got all of that one, folks. Okay. Next man up, little Joe Morgan, ends up getting a single after spoiling a bunch of pitches there. And they all went off towards or behind the catcher, right behind home plate was where those foul balls went. And he ended up getting a single. Let's see, 4D. So I'm ready to bet that it went up the middle. I'm guessing, yeah, up the middle, or maybe cheating towards right field, maybe a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, so next man up, George Foster. He got himself a single, moved Morgan over to second, and he made it all the way to third on the throw by the Cardinal center fielder. Little Joe scored here on a single off of Tony Perez, a.k.a. the doggy, the big dog. Single drove Morgan home, and Foster moved to second. Then, okay, Cesar Geronimo gets up and hits a line drive out. And the runner tagged from third, and boom, there's the next run. And it looks like the last run of the inning, because they changed pitchers and he promptly got JB out on a fly out to right field. So that's pretty much it for game number 1. Let's go back and finish the day, and we will simulate game number 2 and see how this one goes. And then we'll take a travel day off and travel to the old Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And it's a 2-0 series lead for my Reds. They won it 5-3. What's the box score? Okay. Yep, Bench did have an outrageous 75, didn't he? Okay. You're okay. Okay, I see. At the time, Mark McGuire had hit home runs at every park he played in, besides Riverfront. Okay. No longer true after that game. Ah, nice. Okay. Cool piece of trivia there. Glad to see it. Now, I think I missed something else up there in chat. Let me go over to OBS and find it out here. Okay, let me see. Kim is Chilling says the only one she's been to that no longer exists is Milwaukee County Stadium. The one that Hank Aaron said that when they tore it down, it tore a piece out of his heart. From when he was a Milwaukee Brave before they moved to Atlanta. Yep. Cool. Johnny Betch did have an outrageous 75. Pete Rose wasn't a power hitter, only 160 home runs for a guy with over 4,000 hits. Yeah, his power number is really, really low. But he hit a 2-run shot in a simulation over Bob Gibson, for crying out loud. Overpowering Bob Gibson. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see there. Kim is chilling, being told by Cubs fan 23 Steve the Mickey Mantle quote about Pete Rose. If I'd played my career hitting singles like Pete, I'd wear a dress. Mickey equated home runs with manliness, and I can see why. Okay. But Pete Rose, I think I would take overall, I would take his contact over Mickey Mantle's contact any day. He knew how to make contact with a baseball any which way he could. Mantle, I think, was basically driven by one thing, and that was to hit fly balls as deep as he could drive them. Okay? So, yeah, he was kind of a one-trick pony in that regard. Yep. So I remember. Okay? So the Reds have already beaten Gibson and Carlton. Yep. Steve Carlton took the loss in that one, didn't he? And Freddie Norman, Stormin' Norman, play on Schwarzkopf's nickname there, but 3.86 ERA, and Steve Carlton with a 4.50. So yeah, the Reds have beaten Gibson and Carlton in back-to-back simulations. But anyway, let's get back out of here. We've seen as much as we need to see here, because we're starting to run out of time. I'm about ready to run my final ad break, and then we'll continue to simulate this out. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to really play anything out, but we'll see what we do. So I'm going to go ahead and do the final ad break of the day, and we will be back and continue on with this historical simulation. Then we got to do the Perfect Point giveaway. So hang on for dear life, folks. A word from our sponsors. Okay, guys, we are back. Hang on a moment. Okay, we are ready to continue our historical simulation, or are we? Did I get out of that? I got out of that. Dadgummit, let's load that game again. Let's load the game, because it'll be the last one that I saved. And that's going to be 2022 11/13, which is today. This is how you get back into a game that you've accidentally gotten out of. Okay, so we'll pick this up where we left off. I really don't know what I clicked to get out of it, but I got out of it. Okay, we are now back. Wait a minute, that's the wrong thing. That's my, oh no. Okay. I didn't have a save on this. I did not have a save on this. Okay. So I'm going to get out of here. How did I get out of that simulation? I'm going to go back and replay some games. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I clicked, but it was one of those Homer Simpson moments again. Back to here. Okay, my tournaments are still running now. Let's go back and get the exhibition going again. We're we'll make it out from scratch again, okay? And we'll just do simulations. And we won't bother looking at box scores. This one's going to be for all the marbles. This is going to be for all of the marbles. We don't want 77. We want 67. And we're going to choose the Cardinals. And we're going to keep this at baseball's boom. And then 76. And we're going to choose the Reds. And take away the injuries. And let's go ahead and create it. We'll simulate it. So this is going to give those 67 Cardinals a new, fresh breath of life. Okay? It's going to give them a fresh breath of life. Okay, so we're going to simulate game 1 all over again. Let's go. Look at there. Cardinals take game 1, 3-1. Okay? We can take, no, we don't really have time. We're going to do game 2. Finish today. Game 2. The Reds even up the series 1-1 with a 12-2 shellacking of the Cardinals. So they let Bob Gibson beat them. Oh, look at Orlando Cepeda had a home run for the Cardinals in game 1. Game 2, which Johnson is this? Alex Johnson. I've forgotten his name. Okay, Alex Johnson came in with a home run, and Little Joe and Doggy Perez answered with home runs for my Reds. So it's tied up 1 game apiece. We'll finish the day, then we'll finish another day to turn this tomorrow down here in game 3, turn it to today, and there we are. We're going to simulate this one. Gary Nolan versus Dick Hughes on the mound, and we are playing now in St. Louis in Old Busch Stadium. And what do we got? Ooh, the Reds took this one 7-5. Take a very quick look at the box score here. Okay, so Hughes took the loss. Nolan got the win. Raleigh Eastwick got the save. And what happened looked like in the 5th inning is when the tide turned. Yeah, so yeah. Or not, didn't exactly turn, because I think after the 1st inning, yeah, we took a 1-0 lead, and then a 2-0 lead, then a 4-0 lead, then a 7-0 lead, and then the Cardinals came back with 5 unanswered to account for their 5 runs. They out-hit the Reds 14-10. The Reds out-errored the Cardinals 2-0, but managed to overcome it anyway, possibly because of all those long balls. But anyway, that's game 3. Let's keep on going and see who's going to take game number 4. Once I finish the day, and we'll simulate game 4. Oh, it's even up 2 games apiece. 4-1. The host Cardinals evened up the series. Nellie Briles was the winning pitcher. And that's Santo Alcala. I had the SAN part right. Santo Alcala was the losing pitcher, and the save went to Joe Horner. Okay? No home runs hit in the ball game, but gosh, Roonies. Some better baseball being played there by the 67 Cardinals. Let's move on, and we will go finish the day, and let's get game number 5 under our belts, because I want to do the giveaway starting in about 5 minutes. We'll simulate this one. Oh, the Reds take a 3-2 series lead by edging out St. Louis 5-4. Let's look at the box score here. And oh gosh, Roonies. Okay, the Reds had to score. Let's see. The Cardinals were spotted to a 2-run lead. Then the Reds answered them in the top of the 4th. Then the Reds took a 3-2 lead. Then a 5-2 lead. And then allowed St. Louis to come back. St. Louis put on a valiant struggle to try to get back in the ball game and came up 1 run shy. They practically doubled up the Reds in hits. 17-9 out-hit the Reds. And there's another case where the Reds out-errored St. Louis They committed the game's only error, but 17 hits and only got 4 runs to show for it. Eesh, that was almost cringeworthy in and of itself. Well, anyway, winning Game 5, as Little Joe Morgan said, was huge. Game 5 is huge. Okay, let's go back. Oh, I'll bet I know what I did. I hit return to the OOTP main screen instead of play ball over here. That's how I got out of the prior simulation. I realize now what I clicked wrong, because I almost clicked it there until I saw what I was clicking towards. So we are ready. We're going to finish the day. Let's find out if Game 6 finishes this series up, because we only have a couple of minutes till I want to do the next Perfect Point giveaway. Okay, so Steve Carlton and Freddie Norman on the mound for their respective teams, and Freddie Norman won this little matchup the last time it happened back here in game number 2. Pat Zachary got the best of Bob Gibson's team, making up for that poor game 1 that we had. So let's go ahead and simulate game 6, and what is it going to be? And the Reds have closed out yet another World Series with a 7-1 shellacking of St. Louis in their ballpark. And you know what that means. We get to hear all of the different sounds that go on in the locker room. In the Reds locker room, where they're hoisting the trophy and showering each other with beer and champagne. Over in the St. Louis locker room, it's their home locker room, so I guess they're allowed to do this sort of thing, but it wasn't a very pretty picture. It was nasty, absolutely nasty in their locker room, and I would not have wanted to be there. Now, the game gave us a teaser who the MVP was going to be, and it turned out to be Little Joe Morgan. How did he do in this series overall? He had 19 at-bats, 9 hits, batted .474, 3 home runs with 6 ribbies. Now, Doggy Perez had 2 home runs with 7 ribbies. George Foster had 1 home run with 8 RBI. So the power part of the Reds lineup came through for them big time as they won this World Series 4-2. So GG's and better luck next time to the 1967 Cardinals. Okay, that was a good series. That was a fun series, in fact. Let's go ahead and get started towards our Perfect Point giveaway, and I need to change screens in order to do that. Okay, I'm going to come back out to here. If the Reds lose, Sparky should file a protest. Second life. But and they started to take advantage of that second life, but it still came out. That was fun. That was fun, wasn't it? Okay, I like playing those historical simulations. I mean, like it's one of the features of what is a really extremely feature-rich ball game that allows you to play just about any which way but loose. I mean, like you can basically make up your own baseball world if you want to, which several different users have done, like Alex Murray with his backyard project, and Fluffy Kitty Ninja Show with their simulation league. That's partly real players and partly community created players. It's just a really, really terrific outlet for baseball nerds like us to get to play the game in just about any fashion which you wish to play it. All right, let's go ahead, and we are about ready to start us a giveaway. Let me get one started here, and the winner of this is going to win 25,000 perfect points. And let me see. I have to wait for this browser to come up, and I'm going to come in and get the giveaway set up. And here are the ground rules. That once I start the giveaway, you enter it with !enter or !ticket. Even though the Stream Elements chat bot says put a number after the command, don't put a number there. Don't put a number there. It will kick you out. And there's no way for me to edit that. Okay? It's going to be exclamation point enter without a number, then hit your enter key. Exclamation point ticket without a number, hit your enter key. Only do one of the two. Don't do both. It'll kick you out. Okay? You only want to do one command. So I suggest, make your choice, exclamation point ticket or exclamation point enter. You'll have 2 minutes to enter the giveaway. Okay? We are ready to start it. Get ready. Get set. We are running, and you will see the giveaway running in the upper left-hand corner of your Twitch screen. Okay? Exclamation point ticket. Rock or Red Camel, a first-time entry. Thank you for being here, sir. There's Punk 42AE, Mr. Reed 16. H. Rolf Cracky, I remember when he started following the channel. There's two-time winner, Cubs fan 23 Steve. Laertes 1, I think, has won once. Gabagoo Luigi, okay. Laptop Hound, he's in there. Snail Man, oh, Snail Man, the guy from Perfect League. Welcome to the chat, sir. Good to see you. 39 Cobra, who is also a winner. And I mentioned in yesterday's stream that I had a bronze tournament where in one of the rounds I beat 39 Cobra in one round, and in another one I beat Port Dog. And they were adjacent slots in the tournament. I believe it was Port Dog that I beat in the semifinal of the tournament, and 39 Cobra I took on and beat in the final of the same tournament. And they were my two most recent Perfect Point winners from my last two Sunday streams, and I ran into them both in the same tournament and beat them both and wished them both GG's and better luck next time. Okay, so anyway, we have so far, only a few seconds left to go in the giveaway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The giveaway is closed. The giveaway is closed, and we have 30 entries in here. We will pick ourselves a winner momentarily, and we will wait for the momentous sound to drum in the occasion. Okay? Bailey OOTP is our 25,000 Perfect Point winner for today. Congratulations, Bailey OOTP. You have just won 25,000 Perfect Points. Congratulations, good sir. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you a Twitch Whisper. And if you don't know where whispers are in Twitch, on your Twitch page, where you're on my channel right now, if you look in the upper right-hand corner, you see a circle with my little picture inside of it. Just to the left of that is another little bubble, looks like a cactus, okay? And then you'll see a box that says Get Bits. Just to the left of Get Bits is where whispers are. I'm going to send you a Twitch Whisper, and I'll need for you to give me, with correct capitalization, the manager name or the account name that you want your 25,000 Perfect Points to go to, and then I will pass that along to my helper at OOTP, and they will award the points to you forthwith as soon as they see my request. Okay, so let me get to the channel real quick, and I will send you a Twitch Whisper. And let's see, here we go. Bailey OOTP, bow, bow, bow. Okay, so he's taking all the bows. Okay, I'm going to send you a whisper, and I will ask for your OOTP manager name. Okay, if I could spell right, I'd be dangerous. There we go. Okay, here we go. OOTP manager name, correct punctuation, please. And here we go, okay? You should see the Twitch Whisper that I just sent to you. So if you could please get right back to me. Wait a minute. Did it come up? Let me try it one more time. Because it didn't look like it took. Oh! Bailey OOTP. I think your privacy settings in Twitch must be such that I cannot send you a whisper. Okay? Could you please put in chat your if you're in Discord? I can talk to you in Discord and get the manager info from you there. Because I think every time I tried to send you a message or send you a direct message, it did not go through. It's as if it's a privacy setting that you have set in Twitch. Okay? If you could please put in the chat your Discord name, and I can send you something there. Or else, if you don't use Discord, perhaps check your settings here in Twitch, because I am going to try to get those points to you by hook or by crook. Okay? So yeah, you're not going to see anything if your privacy settings are set not to allow messages. So please give me your Discord username, or tell me that you don't care to share that, and I'll try to figure out some sort of a way. Okay? You had a whisper there from somebody else? I don't think it's my settings. Let me double check. Okay, let me double check. Because I sent a whisper. Let me try it again. Let me try it again. Okay. Nope, it disappears as soon as I type it in. Okay, let me try one more thing. I've got settings here. Okay. No, there's nothing in here. Why don't you try whispering me, Bailey OTP? Try whispering me. I'll see if you can whisper me. Click on my name, and you should be able to send me a whisper. Good suggestion there too, Vieja. Okay. Try to send me one if you would please, Bailey OOTP. Because I've done this week in and week out. Okay. I will wait to see if I can get a whisper from Bailey OOTP. Wait, let me type something in chat, and you can have a name to click on. Okay, there it is. There it is. I see it. I see your whisper, Bailey. Okay. That's your username. Okay, bear with me just a second while I go back to the game. We're going to figure this out. Okay, and I'm going to get out of here. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me take that name, and I will go into the game and verify it, because the folks at OOTP asked me to verify the manager names to make sure that I send the correct stuff across. So bear with me, please, while I do this. And then we will go try to find ourselves somebody that we can raid today. Okay. Okay, so once I get into the game here, I can go to the universe and confirm the info that you just gave me. And that is what I will pass along if indeed it is verified. All right. All right, here I go. Go on there. Managers and rankings. And here we go. Okay. And I found you. You're the Keto Mosquitoes. Nice. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you so much for that, Bailey OOTP. You will get sent those 25,000 perfect points momentarily, either sometime later today or at the latest sometime tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're about ready to close things out for the day. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid here, so bear with me just a moment. And I'll see if I can find a good partner for this raid. Okay. And if I can't find somebody, then we'll just call it quits for the day. Because today I don't have to hit the kitchen right away. Because supper is already in the crock pot. Okay. Hey, Fluffy Kitty Ninja Show is going on, and Nursha Banco is also going on. Fluffy Kitty Ninjas has 65 viewers, and Nursh only has 1 viewer. Okay. I think I'm going to send you off to Nursha Banco. Because because he's lacking in viewers right now, and if you want to later, go over to Fluffy Kitty Ninjas on the FKN Commish LB channel. But Nursha Banco is where I'm going to send the raid here, because he can use the audience right now. So that's the raid we're going to make. So please hang on for dear life. We will start that raid momentarily. Okay, I've got it spelled correctly. We're starting the raid. It's been created. So we're about ready to send you over to Nursha Banco. And in the meantime, it's Gorgo 2005, rounding third and heading for home. Thanks a lot for spending time with the old fart today. We appreciate every one of you being here today. I think we had some fun. I know I did. So in any event, please take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch up with everybody hopefully this coming Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for our next pack ripping extravaganza. Take care now. Bye-bye.